Welcome to the Runna Podcast. I'm Coach Anya, an international marathon runner.
And I'm Coach Ben, and one of the co-founders of Runna.
Each week we'll be deep diving into the world of running, speaking to some inspiring individuals about their running journeys.
Runna is the #1 rated running coaching service worldwide. We help hundreds of thousands of people all over the world train for any running goal. And if you want to try out Runna for free, you can try it out using the code Runna Podcast, all one word, to get 2 weeks of free access to the Runna app.
Today on the podcast, we have the amazing Hannah Frankson talking to us about her journey as a competitive track and field athlete to going to the Olympic trials for the triple jump to becoming one of the best well-known Peloton instructors and doing London Marathon this year. She's a super inspiring person with the best energy ever. You're really going to enjoy listening to this one. Hannah, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
We'll start at the beginning. Where did your sporting journey begin?
So I started running when I was at school when I was really young. It was kind of one of the only things I felt like I was good at. So I remember there's this thing that you can do when you're younger called sports hall athletics. It's all like very colourful. And I remember there was like a big championships in Birmingham. This is literally when I was about 10, 11. I remember I was in primary school and yeah, I just remember falling in love with athletics from that day, started training, met a coach there, and that was it really. I was just always pretty fast, and I feel like I always knew that it was something, when you're younger and you feel like you're good at something, it makes it easier to fall in love with. So yeah, we met each other at the right time.
And was that feeling good because you were beating all the boys in the playground?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I was always a little bit sporty as well. Like I was always very active. I have a cousin and she's got great memories. So I'd be like, my idea of fun would be like, we're doing an obstacle course in the garden. You got to run and touch this, then you got to run under these chairs. Like everything was always active for me. So yeah, it was always what I was good at. And it was always something that felt pretty natural to me from a young age. So
how old were you? Did you have a coach at a really young age?
I started, like, it was pretty fun at the beginning. Like, it was very fun and laid back. So I used to go down to the track like twice a week when I was, I think I must have been about 12, 13. So you can start, like, I remember started at under 13s, which is like the youngest age group for athletics. And I was like literally one of the fastest girls in the country at the time. So that's pretty cool. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I must have been about 11, 12.
And do you think that that's you being like genetically gifted? Or do you think it's that actually you've done loads of training without realising? Like all of that playing with your cousin who's older than you and doing all of this like fun was accidentally phenomenal training? Or do you think it was genetics, or what makes you better than everyone at that age?
I think at the time it's got to be genetics. And also, like, had I been somewhere else in the country or even in the world, it might have been completely different. Like, I grew up in Essex and there weren't a lot of, like, brown people. I was one of the only people of colour in my year, in my whole school, actually. So I feel like running as well helped me, like, figure out who I was as a person. Like, I really enjoyed watching the Olympics on TV. And my dad's Jamaican, and you see, like, countries like Jamaica, Caribbean countries do quite well in sprinting. So you're like, oh, this kind of connects me to who I am and like a bit of me. So I guess it's kind of like, yeah, it kind of made me proud of where I come from and like where my family comes from. And yeah, I was good at what I could see on TV. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit of me. Like, and I can see it right there. And I'm like, I could do that. If they can do it, I can do it too. So like, I think I was just motivated, quite naturally talented, and in a place where there were a lot of people that weren't as quick as me, which is an advantage.
And I guess like being great at something makes it that much more fun. That makes it easier to keep doing it and get even better.
Yeah.
So how did it go at 13 doing all your athletics?
I did really well. Like I said, I was one of the fastest girls in the country. And then, like when you're that age, you're doing like, you don't even do 100 meters. You're doing like 75 meters, which is cute. And I used to do the hurdles. You do everything. So like you cast a wide net just to see what you're good at. So slowly I started getting a bit slower and other girls started to get quicker. So I noticed I was quite springy and I liked did I like jumping? did I like jumping, or did jumping like me? I don't know. Like, obviously everyone wants to sprint. It's like the golden event. But I started doing long jump, and I was pretty good at that. And then when I got a little bit older, I started doing triple jump. You're not really allowed to do triple jump especially as a female until you're about 15, 16, just because of your joints. It's quite harsh on your joints. So when I was old enough to start doing triple jump, again, it was the same thing, that I was just pretty good at it straight away. I broke the under 17 British record at the time, which is quite cool. You know, you're at school and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like the best triple jumper in the whole country, like the whole country's ever seen. So like you said, it makes you want to keep doing it because you're good at it. So you're like, this is what I'm meant to do. You're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So yeah, kept doing it. And
do you still hold the record?
Do you know what? I haven't checked. In a way, I hope not. Because triple jump is one of the newest events for females. I think I will have to fact check this, but I swear it was introduced into the Olympics in like 1997. So it's quite a new event. So I really hope another little girl has beat my record, but I haven't checked it. But hopefully I'm still in like the top 10, top 20 all-time jumpers in the country. I'd like to think so. Anyway.
It's quite funny how that's not like a Strava notification. Like, if you have a quam on Strava, you'll get a notification when someone else breaks that, but you're not getting like a world, like doing national record notification from like England Athletics to say, hi, you've your record from like 20 years ago.
It's gone. I'd have to go. We have a thing called Power of 10 in athletics. Do you know about Power of 10? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. So like, I would never check it anymore, but sometimes you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on. Like, I wonder what's going on in the triple jump world, but I'm like, I can't.
There's like the World Athletics ones, which gives you a partner to compare you to from somewhere else in the world, and it says that you've got the same stats as this person, and that's quite addictive.
So who are you comparing yourself against?
I can't remember that. It's pretty changed. We used to. But yeah, that's honestly incredible. How did your training change from sprinting to then being quite a competitive triple jumper? Like, how do you even train for triple jump? Because I'm just used to track and field, and I just think about running. Well, and obviously it's so much more than just running.
It's so funny you say that, because like, when I'm thinking about when I did it when I was younger, and you're saying it was fun, it's like weird how there's like a shift into, like I said, I'm training twice a week. I'm going on a Tuesday and Thursday, and then slowly it becomes like Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, or a Saturday, and slowly it gets a little bit more real, and you're like, oh, like everyone's going to college now and university, like, am I going to keep doing this? Am I going to stop? Like, I have to take it. There's a weird point when you're like, I have to take this seriously. But I don't know, like the training sort of stays pretty consistent. Obviously, the older you get, I think the biggest difference is doing like plyometrics. Like, I remember doing things like that for the first time, and like the weights. Like, I've been lifting weights, or weights have been part of my life since I was about 16, 15, 16, like squatting, or just in like some capacity doing weights. Yeah, like power, like all this strength and power work. But I think the difference between like when you're really little and then when you actually get a bit bigger and you're doing it properly, I feel like it's the plyometric training, like jumping over hurdles, a lot of bounding. We used to do like walking lunges, the 2 lengths of a football, like the football pitch in the middle of the track, like just up and down lunging, like with like triple jump arms as well. So like big lunges across the field, and
and I guess like
we see
you mentioned like there's this point in time where like so many of your peers are going off to college or whatever, and you're having to choose, do you commit to sport? How easy was it of a choice, and like how did that feel?
Do you know, yeah, at the time it's easy because that was my world. Like all my friends did athletics. I went to Brunel University, and I'd been going to Brunel already to train. So I was like, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to this university and I'm going to keep training, and there's really good coaches there. I think like when you're immersed in the world, you don't really think of anyone else. You don't really think of how anyone else is living their life. You're like, this is normal to me. Like whatever you're doing on a weekend is not normal. So it's easy because you're around other people that are doing exactly the same as you. Yeah.
And fast forward, you go to the Olympic trials for triple jump. How did that come about? How was that? Tell us all about that.
With like when you do athletics, I'm sure you know this. Like you kind of, you're doing it and you know the standard, you know what you have to jump. So like competing from when I was younger, like you'd be in competitions and you wouldn't really mean to, but you'd be at trials anyway. So you'd be like, this is what I need to jump to go to the Olympics. But obviously when I'm like 17, 18, you're like, those targets for me were like unattainable. But then slowly you get a little bit closer. So I was about 23, 24 in 2012. Hope that's right. I feel like I'd just come out of university and it was that weird year where you're like, what are you going to actually do with your life? Or it was during that time where I was out of uni. And I feel like I had enough time to be like, give it a good go. Do you know what I mean? Actually try. So my PB was about 13.40, 13.50. And I had to jump 13.70 to get to the Olympics. So do you know, at the time you're like, it's so close to get to a home Olympics. Like it's quite far, but it's also quite close. Like if you have a good year of winter training, it is possible. So I was like, I'm going to go for it because I'm never going to get this chance again. My knees were terrible. Like my knees were in bits. But
from training or
just from triple jump, like it's not great for the old body. Do you know what I mean? Like I would be waking up, I would go to sleep and I'd wake up in the middle of the night, like, and I wouldn't scream obviously because I was living at home, but I remember just waking up in like pure agony in the middle of the night and my knees were just like awful, carrying around ice everywhere I went. If I drove, I remember I used to have to get out of the car sometimes and just like shake my knee, like sitting down for too long, I'd have to like stand up because in the cinema, wherever I was, my knees were just awful, terrible. But I don't think I realised at the time how bad it was because I just wanted to get there so badly. Then you step out of it and you're like, hun, are you UK, hun? Because I wasn't okay. It was only when I stepped out I realised how bad it was. But yeah, I think every like national championships is a trials for something. So I would have been there anyway. So it was quite natural to, like, I knew I always had an outside chance, but then obviously you're at Olympic trials thinking, this is it, like this is the last time that you're going to get the chance to go. Obviously I didn't make it, so.
And why do you say it was the last chance? Is that because you knew that 4 years later you would be too old? Or why was it that you felt like that was the only and the last chance? Is it because everyone was getting faster and you felt like you were getting slow? Like what was it that made you feel like that?
I think I knew that I could feel myself slowly falling out of love with it a little bit. Yeah. Like I said, it's a lot on your body. I'm 23, 24. I'm not making any money from athletics. I'm not making any money directly from the sport. I'm always amongst the top 5 in the country. Like I'm really proud of everything I've achieved, and you're just like, in my brain, I don't think I could have fathomed doing it for another 4 years. To the point that, and I knew that because the following year was a Commonwealth year, and I jumped for Wales. So, I mean, I hope no one's offended if I say this, but like the Commonwealths is the easiest international competition to get into. So I had the standard to go already. So I could have easily gone to the Commonwealths. And that year when I was training, I was just like, I don't really want to be here anymore. I don't want to do it. And my coach was like, you know, you don't have to do this anymore. Like, you don't have to keep coming. And I think I had a little chat with myself and I was like, whether I go to the Commonwealths or not, like whether I went to the Olympics or not, like no one can take away what I did do in this sport. And like little version of me just wanted to say she was an athlete. Like I really wanted to be like an athlete. And I was like, no one can ever tell me that I wasn't. Like even though I didn't go to like a major international, no one can take away everything I've done in this sport. So like I can still walk away with my head held high and figure out what my next chapter is. It just felt like the right timing to just be like, let's find something else.
And obviously like the time's passed from then and now you've got an incredible career doing what you do now. How did that like transition go from maybe walking away from the sport at that level to being where you are now?
Yeah, so that was the funniest like part of my life. Like when I stopped obviously, like, you know, when you train, you have to say no to so much. I'm like 23, 24, 25-ish. And I think everyone's had their fun years, you know, like when they're out. But mine was a little bit later and everyone's like, do you want to do this? I'm like, yes. Do you want to do this? Yes. Do you want to go here? Yes. I'm like saying yes to everything because I've always had to say no. And had the best time when I came out of athletics, just like living. No idea what I wanted to do, just living my life. And I think I realised I was still going to the gym quite a lot. Like I still couldn't let go of lifting. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do as a career. I was working as an intern at Puma at the time, just kind of cruising through life. And then I'd been modelling as well. Luckily, athletics had kind of framed me into a little. I had a great opportunity through athletics to get into modelling. I worked with every single brand, every single sporting brand that was going, every single gym that was going. I'd worked with, and I think I was like, I need to figure out what I want to do. And I became a personal trainer. I thought, let me just become a PT while I'm figuring it out, because I can still do modelling and I can do PT at the same time. Very standard. I feel like it's a very standard sort of great shit.
Well, I do PT as well.
Oh, yeah.
I can resonate.
So then through being a personal trainer, I discovered spin. And I was a bit like, wait a minute, like I've been in the gym all this time, like sweating and being like super serious, and all these people have been in these dark rooms with like loud music and sweating and having fun. I was like, who's been keeping this from me? Like, how long has this been going on? I didn't even know this was a thing. So when I discovered spin, like the first time I went into the room, shout out to Melissa Weldon, because she was the first person in the spin class I ever did. And I left and I was like, that was amazing. I was like, I want to do that. I was like, I know what to do that. I want to be at the front. That's amazing. And slowly I made it.
And then Peloton find you, or you found Peloton?
I was teaching spin at the time, so that's a whole. We'll skip that whole bit of how I got into spin, I taught at the same studio for about 4 or 5 years, about 5 years I think, and it was my 30th birthday. I feel like this is really important. Every time I think about it, I'm like, this is so mad. It was my 30th birthday, and I'd just gone through a breakup. I was engaged, and kind of thought I thought my life was going to be perfect. Had a flat with my partner at the time. Everything was going like that way, and it was perfect. And then it kind of all got pulled under my feet. And I remember I feel like I had. Do you know when you feel like you're at the bottom? Like I was like, you can't make me feel. Nothing's going to make me feel any worse. Nothing's going to be more shameful. Nothing's going to be more hurtful. I was like all the way down there, but teaching spin was always like this thing where I was like, I'm already at the bottom, and you all in this room make me feel better every single week. And I feel like I became a more confident instructor because of that. And I feel like my room started getting busier, and I think I just let go of everything. I was like, I've got nothing left to feel. I've got nothing left. Do you know what I mean? I've got nothing left. So I was just like totally myself in that room. And on my 30th birthday, I was promised a party. I was like, I was gonna get married. I was promised a party. I was promised a celebration. So like that ride in particular, like on my birthday, I had like champagne on my bike. Like, like all the people in the room knew me. Like they'd been coming to do my classes for ages, and they were like all ready for like this to be my big birthday ride. And then I saw a man on a bike, and I was like, he's new. And I ran over to him. I'm like, just so you know, this is my birthday ride, so it's not going to be like a normal ride. Please come back and like do another one. Just know that this is not going to be like.
I don't normally have champagne.
I don't usually have champagne on my bike, and I'm probably going to be a little bit extra. Like I'm going to be big. I'm going to be big today.
I feel like you'd normally be quite big, so then you're extra big.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going big, just so you know. Like, but please come back. Little did I know that was my executive producer at Peloton, and he was doing the rounds just to kind of do everyone's classes. They were headhunting for 2 new instructors, and then from that day, I went on auditions, interviews for about 8-9 months. with Peloton, because I guess they want to check who you are as a person. It's not just about like, can you do the job? It's like, who are you really as a person? And like, you don't know that from 2 auditions. So yeah, spent a long time auditioning, chatting to everyone in the company, and then finally got the job. Yeah.
Hey guys, just a little note from us. Anya and I are so excited that we managed to hit the #1 spot in the UK in the running podcast charts. So as a little bit of a thank you to all of our loyal podcast listeners, we managed to organise 15% off all of our Runner merchandise. So head to the Runner website, and if you use the code, all one word, all caps lock, MyFastSocks, you'll get 15% off any of our items on the store. So thank you for listening, and go and enjoy, go and get your hands on some Runner merchandise.
I don't think people realise how like big Peloton is, or how like if you do Peloton, you are the people who do your classes are so close to you, and they spent the whole of lockdown with you, and like you are, you know, you have huge followings and huge communities, and so much respect is like given to you, so much more than like some spin classes and some gyms, like that you have no relationship with the instructor at all.
Well, I think it's probably the same relationship, but it's on an enormous platform and scale. That like, do you mean you can have 20 people in your class at the gym, and they will love you, they will know that their lives are healthier and happier because of you, but you can do that for hundreds of thousands of people through a service like Peloton.
Yeah, 100%. It's literally exactly what you just said. Like I was saying, like when I needed all those people in the room, like in real time, I really needed them, and I feel like that was my community. They were all my people, and we were all celebrating together, and I felt so lucky that I could have that. And then going to Peloton, especially during lockdown, like people would come up to me in the street after lockdown and be like, you helped me so much get through a difficult time. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think you understand how much, I don't know what I would have done without everyone doing my rides during that time. Like I genuinely do not know what I would have done, how I would have coped with it. I was living on my own. Do you know what I mean? I've got no idea how I would have coped. So it's always like two-way. It doesn't matter if it's like 10 people, 20 or thousands. Yeah.
And all the while, like when you were doing your kind of athletics at that top level, you were really pushing your body beyond its limits, waking up with sore knees and everything else. How's your body feeling through the lockdown doing all the spinning? Are you looking after yourself? Are you feeling better? Is it the same?
I think nothing will ever compare to what I did to my body during triple jump. Like nowhere, there's nothing I can do that will get to that level. Like I'd wake up and literally, I mean, you probably know the feeling, but I would wake up and I mean, sometimes when we train, we'd do like 6 jumps, and you'd wake up and you feel like you've been hit by a bus. Like that's the only way I can compare it to. I'd wake up and my whole body felt broken. So there's nothing in this world that will ever feel like triple jump again. But yeah, like, I guess I did exercise a lot during lockdown, but I feel like I was very sensible, and I think the schedule, like the Peloton schedule, kept me quite like I would kind of get up and train with people on certain days. Do you know what I mean? Like it would all be quite regiment. So like it would be like 10 o'clock, everyone's getting up and riding, so I'm gonna ride with them. So I don't know, just kind of like it helps kind of structure my day. So yeah.
And I guess you've gone from Peloton to then dabble in a bit of running, and you did the London Marathon this year. Yeah. How did that go?
Yeah, do you know what, right? I never, ever thought I would do that. So I started teaching on the tread at Peloton. And I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like people knew this, but before I started on the tread at Peloton, I'd never run for longer than like 10, 15 minutes. I had no ambition to. I found it quite boring, but they kind of said, do you want to start on the tread? And genuinely, my dad didn't like doing the bike. He only liked the tread. And one of the other instructors, he'd be like, that's my favourite instructor. And I was like, no, I have to be your favourite instructor. Like, I am your daughter. Like, I have to be your favourite. So, like, one of my motivating factors for joining the tread team was just so my dad would actually, be my favourite, be the favourite. I want to be my dad's favourite.
Does he do your classes now? Yeah, good.
He does my tread class.
It worked at least.
It worked. But I went from doing like 20 minutes on the tread to 30 minutes. Then I had like my first 45-minute run on the tread. This is all on the tread. I've never been running.
And this, for context, this is a live 45-minute session with a microphone. Yeah. That is really quite impressive.
This is like never done it. Like, honestly, I don't think they realise that. I genuinely never done it before. Wow. And Susie, who you spoke to, I'd be like, Susie, how am I going to run for 45 minutes? What do I need to do? Like, when do I eat? What clothes do I wear? What if my shoes come undone? Like, what if my hair comes out? I'd like all these crazy thoughts. It's like, it's not, you're going to be okay. And then I remember I did a 60-minute run and I was like, I can kind of do this.
Have you had any disasters? Like, have you ever had like 35 minutes in of a 60-minute class, a quick pop to the toilet?
See, that was always my biggest fear. I'd be scared. Yeah, that's always been my biggest fear.
And survived?
Never happened. Never happened.
No disasters of
No disasters. Don't say that. Touch wood. Like, there's been a couple of times I've felt the back of the tread. I'm like, whoa, I'm close to the edge there. But other than that, like, I've been
God, that would be an embarrassing live stream mistake.
Yeah, I've kind of thought of what I would do, like, if that happened. Yeah.
What, you kind of drop into a burpee, do some press ups, and then straight back up.
Yeah, you'd have to make a joke and make sure, because that's going online. So you've got to be ready for that.
And so you're almost accidentally training for the marathon without realising?
Yeah. And then I thought, I think there's a bit of me that wanted to be, I feel like I hadn't challenged myself in a very, very long time, like physically, that I've always now I exercise for fun, just want to enjoy myself. So I was like, I haven't done anything that's like a challenge in so long. And I think being immersed around people like Anya and people like Susie and like, again, it's like circle. It's like when I did athletics, it felt pretty normal because everyone around me was doing it. So I was like, maybe I could do the marathon. And then I got a spot through Refuge, a charity. And yeah, I used my work as training and I more or less went on like one long run a week. So I wasn't going all in training, but like I did enough to get there. And I think for me, I wanted to do something where I was like really normal, because athletics feels a little bit exclusive. Not everyone does it. But for me, I feel like anyone can do a marathon. And I was like, I want to do something that everyone can do. And it was the weirdest experience for me, I'd say, like really weird for me.
And so was the goal to get there enjoying yourself, or did you really push yourself to see what you could achieve? Like you said, you didn't commit to the long runs as hard. Like, what was the motivation? Prove that you can do it?
I think it was the challenge to be like, I think I wanted to, if I'm honest, I really just wanted to do something normal. I wanted to do something that felt really like this is going to sound, I don't mean to sound like, I wanted to do something that anyone can do. Because I feel like anyone in the world can do a marathon. And it's like literally just putting in the training, putting in the work and getting there. Like, whereas triple jump is a little bit more technical. Like, if you can't put a hop and a step together, like you're not going to do it. And also, like, all my athletics that I'd done before that was also connected to numbers. And it was like, I really wanted to win. I'm never going to win the marathon. I just want to get to the end. So I think I wanted to do something that made me feel like a challenge that everyone does and that everyone can do. And I remember going to get my number and messaging my friend that used to do athletics and being like, this is really weird, you know, like there's like thousands of people here all getting their number. Because when I did athletics, you'd go get your number and your number would have your name on it and everyone would know who you are. So it was weird to be like, wow, I'm just a normal person. But I've always tried to describe this and it always comes across harsh, and I haven't really figured out the best way to say this, but I feel like the marathon can make you feel so normal, and in feeling really normal, that's what makes us all special. Like, every single person is special and we're all doing this same thing, but we're all doing it with different motivations, we're all doing it with different abilities, different experience, and it's like the normality in just being one of a billion people is what actually makes us so special. It's like this thing of being like one of a...
You're all doing the same thing, but you have a very unique experience to it.
Yes.
And that you're all doing, some of you are pushing yourself for 2 hours and some for 6 hours, and you're all doing your hardest, the best you can to get around 26 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the most humbling, I think it's probably like one of the most humbling things I've ever done in my life.
Did you use your past experience in athletics as motivation during the marathon? Or was it like, I almost don't want to think about that because I want to enjoy this and I don't want it to be as competitive? Or did you use it as like anger and be like, I want to push myself like I did back then?
I don't, that's why I wanted to do it, because I wanted to let it go. I wanted this to be like the thing where I could say, it's gone. I'm not that person anymore. I don't do athletics. Like, it's gone. Like, the last time I jumped into a sandpit was like 15 years ago. Like, it's over. Like, put it to bed. And I thought this was going to be the perfect way to put it to bed. But I realised it wasn't at all, because I think once you're that person, you'll always be that person. So I put my head down for the whole time and just ran. Like, do you know, like when the people are like, go, and like waving at you, like all my friends were there, and I'd literally be like, just put my thumbs up and keep going. And when I look back, I'm like, why didn't I enjoy it a little bit more? I wish I'd have just like had a bit more fun with it. But I think old habits die hard, and I probably took it a bit too like on the day, oddly seriously.
Well, I guess like you're competitive at the end of the day. If you do something, you want to do it well.
Yeah.
And you said that you got into running, viewing 10-15 minutes of running as boring. Do you still find running boring? Cover your ears, everyone.
This is the thing, because I really enjoy teaching tread. I think it's great. And I think for me, I need to have the fun. Everything for me in fitness now, everything I do has to be fun. And I think I wanted to do the marathon as a challenge. And I had fun all around it. Like, shout out to Lululemon, because we had an after party. I was out. My biggest achievement in doing the marathon was that I got home at 5 a.m. And I was out. Like, we had so much fun that night. And I was like, I would do the marathon again just to have that moment of fun. Like, have the medal around my neck, and the community, like the running community, unmatched. I love like running with other people. But to run on my own, for me, I find it quite hard personally. But I think that's what it is for me. It's like the people. I think it's the people that make it what it is. So I thought I'd carry on running, but without having the target of running a marathon, or I thought I'd carry on going outside and running, but I haven't been out since. But I still do all my runs on the tread, and I love jumping on the tread, and I'll still go out for runs with people if they ask me to. But I haven't gone out on my own to run since.
So with that in mind, would you ever do another marathon?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
The right one with the right energy and training with the right people?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's nice to have something to work towards. And like I said, it's something that anyone can do, but for some reason people think they can't. So like when people are like, how's the marathon? I was like, oh, you could do it. And they're like, no, I couldn't. I'm like, no, you really could. Like, that's the amazing thing about it. And it, like you said, it's like really personal. It doesn't matter. No one cares about how fast you do it. Like, all the extra stuff, like just saying you did it is an amazing thing, and it's like an amazing feat. So I would definitely do it again. I'm not doing that. Do you know the people that train in the summer? I couldn't train in the summer.
Yeah.
That New York, is it New York? The New York Marathon?
In November.
No, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
You got to train through the summer. I like training in the winter. Like, I like doing it like early in the morning.
Yeah. Spring marathon then.
Do you want to do a Paris marathon next year in the spring?
When's that? What's the date of that one?
Like April, sometime. You get some winter training.
Do you know what? Right, one of my friends, she used to do athletics with me, and I was like, I was like, you could do that. She was like, no, I couldn't. I was like, you really could. Like, if you wanted to do it, I would do it with you. Like, let's do it together. So there's chat about it, and she's like, yo, I just ran for 45 minutes outside. I can't believe it. I'm like, yo, you can run for 3 hours outside. Do you know that? Like, that's what you can actually do. Like, can you believe that? Like, our little bodies that used to only ever run a distance of 100 meters, like max. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can run for 3 hours, like we can actually do that. She's like, nah. I'm like, yeah, we can. So I'm thinking maybe we do like if she'd do Manchester, I'd do Manchester.
So basically, you need to find a marathon that you can convince her to do with you, and then you can have fun, work through the journey together.
Yeah.
You're so motivational.
I don't know if I am really. I'm just telling you that I don't like running.
No, you're telling everybody.
You also find a way to do it and make it fun at the same time and do something amazing.
Yeah.
And it's even more impressive to do something amazing that you don't find comes naturally to you, like, or that isn't like automatically fun. Like, I mean, if Anya had to pick what to do for like 2 hours on the weekend, I think she'd want to go running outside. So then it makes it easier for you to train for a marathon.
Yeah.
That it makes it much harder for you to train for a marathon when the last thing you want to do is spend 2 hours running outside on your own in the rain.
Yeah. And that's it for me. Like I said, that's it. Like when I went into that spin room and I discovered that there were loads of people, that's how they were exercising. I was like, what? This looks amazing. That there's loud music. From the moment I stopped doing athletics, my only ambition with fitness was, once I discovered fun, because I didn't know about it, like, so I did spend a couple of years like going to the gym and just doing like weights, and I still love lifting weights, but like for me, there has to be fun, has to be at the heart of it. Like you said, like if you like running, you have to. I always tell people you have to find something you enjoy, because you want to be doing this for a long time, and it's got to be a good time. So if you're forcing yourself to do something you don't like, it's long. So I just always want to have fun with my exercise, and it's nice to like sprinkle in these weird challenges and goals, but ultimately I just want to do it to keep fit, keep healthy for as long as I can, for my life outside of like fitness. I think my life outside of fitness is more important than my life inside of it. Yeah.
Nice. It's a great message. Well, we're going to send ourselves away for Steph, who's going to bring us back with our coaching tip of the week.
My top tip today is on structure and motivation. If you're really struggling to get your training going, then sign up to a training plan. Here at Runna, we'll help you tick off the sessions, we'll hold you accountable, and we'll give you that extra bit of motivation. Having a training plan takes away that internal debate of what run should I do today? Should I rest? Should I gym? We will do all the planning for you, so you simply need to tick off the sessions as you go.
Thanks for that, Steph. We now have a myth debunking discussion that we're going to ask Coach Ben. So this week we have, how many times do I need to train a week to see progression with my running?
It's a great question. I think the answer would be very different for you, Anya, versus the average listener. I think typically people can improve by doing a little bit more than what they do currently. You'll also overdo it if you do a lot more than you do currently, because you don't give your body time to adapt. So if you currently never run, don't look at what Anya does and go and start running 6, 7, 8 times a week. So instead, I would suggest doing a little bit more than you do currently. So if you're currently running sporadically once a week here or there, maybe try and build a bit of consistent running twice a week, see how you're getting on. And once your body really starts to find that easy, you could upgrade to 3 times a week. In the same way, if you've been running 4 times a week for the last few years and you're doing really well, 2 times a week is probably not going to cut the mustard. So you just look to do a little bit more. And at the same time, probably the key theme is to make sure that you enjoy that. Just like everything that you said, that like at the end of the day, if you're coming from a strength background and you love training in the gym and you want to train for your marathon, keep up doing 3-4 days a week in the gym, and you could do an amazing marathon running 2 or 3 times a week. So it's got to be maybe a little bit more than you're used to challenge your body to adapt, but also structured in a way that means that you're going to love the training, and it's also going to be sustainable around your life. So hopefully that is a vague but a good answer. Anything you guys would add to that?
No, that's a good answer, because everything depends. It depends on the person, doesn't it? It's hard to give an answer that works for everyone on a question like that.
Yeah, and I mean, like, to give it like context to me personally, like Anya and I are very similar levels of runners. Admittedly, I'm a man. However, like we run similar times doing similar distances, but I run a lot less than you do. Partly because I probably have a little bit less time, and I spend a bit more time cycling.
Yeah, and I would say I recently looked back at all my last marathon times and saw how many miles I was doing for each marathon time, and the more running I was doing doesn't necessarily mean a quicker marathon time. So it's all about like being productive and intentional with your running.
Yeah, and also sometimes doing too much can lead to overtraining, lead to injury, lead to burnout. You're not going to recover, not going to adapt. So yeah, really listen to your body, make sure you feel great. And at the end of the day, for the majority of people listening, I'd imagine you're probably not professionals. So it's got to be a compliment to your life and not something that makes it worse.
100%.
Cool. Right. Well, we're going to move into a slightly sillier, more light-hearted conversation with some this or that's. So you are going to have to pick between the two options. Okay. Would you rather never, ever be able to run ever again, or never, ever be able to ride a bike ever again? Yeah, indoor and outdoor.
Do you know what, right? I'd have to say I'd pick a bike. I'd never want to... If this is, by the way, this is this or that. You're forcing me to say one.
It's not meant to be easy.
I would take the bike. I quite enjoy that you can get further.
Do you ever ride a bike outside?
I do, and I love it. I love riding outside. I find it so therapeutic, and I love talking to people while I'm cycling because you don't have to look them in the eye. I heard there's like a therapy like that. Do you know what I mean? Like where people get, because your mind gets into like that state of flow, and then you get to talk to someone, but they're like, you don't ever have to actually look at them, and it feels quite nice to talk to someone.
I've never thought about that, but it makes total sense.
Yeah.
Should we all just like not
look at each other, just look dead. Everyone just look dead forward and just all chat. Like, yeah, I love it.
I'm glad that I'm not being asked this question. We might have to.
I was going to say, does Ben want to answer that one?
What about you, Anya? Never run, never cycle again.
Never cycle.
Well, moving on. So next question before I'm forced to answer. Would you rather have made it to the Olympics and placed fourth, or won the London Marathon?
Placed fourth for the Olympics. Oh my gosh! Like I went to Paris this year, and I'm just even though like it was my dream so long ago, like even just to be part of the opening ceremony, the closing ceremony, to stay in the village, like do the pin swapping, everything that goes with the Olympics, I would take 10th place and have made it there.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Annie?
So interesting, because I was straight up like, I want to win London Marathon.
Yeah, because that's no. But I don't. I just wanted to say, I just wanted to get to the end of the marathon.
Do you know? I always think that I was thinking about this watching Paris. That I feel like certain places of like different satisfaction, because I feel like if you got gold, obviously incredible. If you get bronze, you like made it to the medals, and that's like epic. You can be like, I got a medal. But like, I feel like silver's frustrating because you didn't get gold, and then fourth would be frustrating because you didn't get a medal.
Do you know? When you break it all down, like there are some people with gold medals that, like in the nicest way, like we don't talk about their names anymore, but they've got that experience forever. And like sometimes I think it's lovely to win the medals and that, but like being there and having those experiences, like having those unique experiences that not everyone gets to have, like. It's so special, and it's such a big part of your life. Like, I've had friends that have been to Olympics, and it's just such an achievement to say that you got there, that sometimes the medals can, I don't know, like, it just makes you, it just gets into who you are as a human, that I just think that everyone trains just as hard as each other. Everyone's training to be there. So it's not that, it's sometimes the medal is just a beautiful extra part of it. I think like when you break it all down, like the person you had to be to get there is unbelievable. So like to get there, it's beautiful.
Yes. Okay.
It's out those beds as well, those little
the cardboard beds
and that, yeah.
You're not going to come home with your fourth place and jump up and down on the bed, otherwise you're going straight through it.
So this bed.
Okay, last one. Would you rather never ever be able to exercise or teach with music on, so silence and just your loud breathing, or every day for the rest of your life you've got a boombox on your shoulders and you can't turn it off forever? So your silence, you can never have music when you exercise or when you teach.
I would never pick that.
But the other option is you have a boombox on your back all the time, walking down the street, hanging out with your cats at home, having a little quiet moment, there's tunes.
If I'm doing my job and they said you have to take away the music, I'm not doing my job. Like that's it. I don't. You could tell me.
But you said already that your life outside of fitness was more important. You're like having a nice romantic stroll on the beach with like the tunes on.
If I had to teach bit, like if there was no option, I had to do my job, and they were like, you have to do your job but without music, I would say it's pointless. That makes my whole job redundant.
You could sing.
No, you don't want that. They don't want that. Like, I love that aspect of my job, like the music side of it, like being able to create a playlist is what keeps me going, especially like running. Oh my gosh, the fun I have doing a running playlist. Oh, I couldn't do it without music. Yeah, no way. You could give me any other option and I would always pick the music.
And are you never listening to music again, or are you...
I'm never listening to music again.
Really?
But I do think, like, any spin class or anything I've ever done, like, I get emotional when the right song comes on and I'm pushing myself that hard. Like, I want to cry by the end.
That's like, I love that. That's my, like, the way you put a playlist together, like the way you think about the energy and you take someone up and then you're like, you hit them with a really like fun song and you're like, bam, here's a really deep, meaningful song and you're going to cry.
Quite like you to DJ for me while I drive my car. So that you could have the aux.
I feel like I'm not good at aux. Like, I feel like my musical skill set is just during spin classes or like to create a fitness class. Outside of that, I don't rate myself as a DJ, anything. I just feel like my talent is niche in exercise. I don't rate myself outside of it, but I rate myself highly in it. I will admit, I really think I'm good at playlisting. I don't like. I
bet you have a bag of playlists at your spin. Amazing. I'm going to go into the embarrassing story sent in by one of our listeners this week, and we can give our reactions. And if you have an embarrassing story, please let us know. Also, Ben, how do people send in?
Yeah, if you'd like to send in your embarrassing story, send us an email to podcast@runna.com or send us a message or even a voice note on Instagram, and we will share them in some future episodes.
Great. So this one is, on a multi-loop trail 50k, a guy was getting changed into a different costume every loop, which is 5k, to beat a record. I always started each loop ahead of him. As he peeled off to get changed, going to get changed after going over the timing mats. But then he overtook me every single time. He passed me as Mr. Blobby, Batman, Superman, a penguin, a baby dinosaur. Every costume he got more and more ridiculous, and it really, really humbled me.
Wow. I feel like that's quite funny, not that embarrassing.
No, but we've all been overtaken by like a guy with a washing machine on their back in the marathon.
Have you been?
Oh, my first marathon, I remember my mum literally being like, "Oh, the guys in the rhinoceroses beat you." There's always the rhinoceroses at the under marathon.
They are strong though.
I mean, the washing machine, they are heavy.
Yeah. I wouldn't attribute that to me. I would like just take that. I'd be like, you are amazing. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, overtake me, go for it, because that's unreal. Yeah. I wouldn't put it on myself. I'd be like, that person's go. I'd be like, go, because that's amazing.
And also the logistics, because I think if you had to wear 10 outfits on a 50-kilometre run, to like not accidentally re-wear one you've already worn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised that they've not done a double overtake as a penguin and then lost the record.
Yeah, definitely.
Why were they doing that? Just changing outfits for the sake of it?
Yeah, just a record. My friend broke the world record at London Marathon this year for the fastest marathon time in a Santa outfit. He did like 2 hours 30 in a Santa outfit, full on beard, everything.
That's the thing though, isn't it? Running the marathon in a Santa outfit. Okay, they do that at Christmas, right? They do like the big run.
There's a few Santa runs happen at Christmas, but then this is like the world. But there's also like world records for all of these crazy challenges. Like there's the fastest marathon in flip-flops, fastest marathon with a washing machine on your back, and even I think Crocs has been done at about 2:40 something. I saw a YouTube video of the person who did that. But I think there's an option to probably engineer some kind of like carbon-plated Croc. So you mean some kind of Croc Nike collab? That could be a pretty sought after pair of shoes. Have you got any embarrassing fitness or running stories you want to share? Or
I'm trying to think. Do you know what, right? I probably have loads, but I'm not easily embarrassed. Like, I don't find anything that embarrassing. I'm on a screen, I'm sweating profusely in front of thousands of people. So I'm not easily embarrassed. I feel like one of the most embarrassing thing that happened in a ride that took me like by surprise is, you know, like you have a Freudian slip and you say the wrong word. I was doing a ride and it was all about like being like single and happy and like living your best single life. And we have a leaderboard and they can like make like hashtags, and hashtags are people that all ride together. So you'll have like Peloton mums as a hashtag. We all have like our own groups that hashtag together, so they can all ride together at the same time. And one of them is sweating for the wedding. So it's people that are getting married, and they're like doing their pre-wedding workouts. And for some reason, I said, "Oh, you're sweating for the funeral," and I was like, "Oh!" Like, you can see it in my eyes that I really didn't see it come in, and I was like, I'm so sorry I said that. Like, I don't know why I said that, and I couldn't like let it go.
They're not even like similar words at all.
No, like the ride went on. I was like, I think I was thinking about like 3-4 weddings and a funeral. Like, I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry. And especially because it was like a ride where I was like, yeah, being single is so amazing. And then this person's like, I'm getting married. And I'm like, good luck at your funeral. I was like, oh, this is really, it's the worst. I was like, why did I say that? I don't know why I said it.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow.
And I felt really bad.
Wow, that is amazing. Well, it brings us on to our final question of the Runna Podcast, which is our favourite question. So you're on the start line of your Manchester Marathon with your best friend, and you're completely naked, and you can have 3 things with you. What 3 things are you bringing?
What if I say headphones? I'm going to need a phone. I'm going to have some device to play it on.
There are probably modern day headphones that you can download your songs onto.
It's coming. I wish I'd have known.
So we'll let you have headphones with songs loaded onto it.
This is really tough. That's a really tough question, because you're always going to lose. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be missing some. You're really letting something go here.
Well, if we said like you bring the whole wardrobe, it might not be so fun.
Yeah. Do you know what? Right. I would actually not have headphones. I'd probably try and go on the vibes of the crowd for once.
There is music all the way around, Miss.
That might actually be a really good...
Imagine this, you're at the really boring straights where there's no noise, no atmosphere, you're out on your own, you don't even find running that fun, and here you are, no, you got a few hours to go, no tunes.
That might be the best bit. It might turn out to be the best bit, because I think I would prefer other things. I think I'd need like... I'd have to have a watch.
Okay, so you're taking a watch?
Yeah, I'd have to know.
So you got your Garmin watch?
Yeah, I'd have to have a watch.
What else are you bringing? So that's one item gone.
I kind of want to say a sports bra, but then that's weird because I don't mind, like, everything else is fine.
Okay, so a sports bra and your watch.
My watch. This is not looking good, is it? Oh gosh, I kind of want to say trainers, but I don't think I could do a marathon barefoot.
So you're trainers.
So I think I'd have to say trainers. I'd just be
sports bra, watch, and shoes.
Yeah. I would love to. What was everyone else?
Well, I'm bringing a watch and trainers, but then sunglasses to go with it. It's my choice. Nice. And you've kind of nailed the outfit.
Yeah, with an all-in-one like speed suits. But we've asked every single guest this question, and we've never had the same answer.
Really? I feel like
we haven't had sports bra without pants before, I think. That is a first. You might get more people cheering you on, which will then like bring you some more vibes and speed you up.
I was kind of thinking, if I could run naked, like if you ran naked, that's fine. But that feeling, being a girl, feeling you like, yeah, you don't want that. It's not nice. It's actually not very comfortable. So I'm like, well, I have to make sure that's secure. Yeah.
Well, there we are. We feel like we've gotten to know you pretty well there. Thank you so much for telling everyone about your amazing journey. And I think you've clearly got just an amazing bundle of energy, and we look forward to seeing whatever you get up to next.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Runna. If you want to train for any running goal, please download the app, and don't forget you can use the code Runna Podcast for a 2-week free trial.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, share, follow, do all of that nonsense, and we'll be back here next week. And if you want to be featured, send us your embarrassing running story. Either send us a voice note on Instagram or send us an email to podcast@runna.com so that we can have a good laugh at your expense in Runna HQ and share it on one of the next episodes.